The good, the bad, the ugly about self-defense. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a cup of coffee, and let's talk about it right now. So the good part about self-defense is it does work. A lot of the times it does work. I'm going to show you two moves, two really good moves that should work with not even really a martial arts background, and they work very well. Um, so two moves. So self defense does work. All right. So let's just get that out of the way. The bad part about self defense is sometimes it doesn't work, and it's not the fault of the instructor or the school owner. Okay. Yes, there are some bad instructors and school owners that just don't really teach very well. But the real serious, the ones that actually care and love people and love their students, they're the ones that are going to make sure that, okay, I am here, I'm here for you. And really making sure that they get good quality students, good quality black belts out of their school. Some just don't do that. It's all about money. And I even knew a couple of these that were just um, just not very good instructors, school owners, and I apologize to the students that have those kind of instructors now. I would probably recommend do a little bit more research and try to find some good instructors that will teach you good self-defense, good martial arts. So that's the bad part about self-defense is it the students are the ones that aren't making the techniques work. Self-defense will not work if you just work it like 2 or 3 days. It will not work. Hopefully the two that I'm going to teach you now, you can at least get somewhere within your brain of like, okay, that works. I'm just going to give you two so it's easy to maintain it. I'm not going to give you a whole lot of scenarios and a lot of moves, just two moves that'll work pretty much with certain sort of attacks and everything like that. So it'll be pretty fun there. Okay, let's talk about the third one, the ugly part about self-defense. And this is the part that this is why schools and school owners and instructors they I don't know if they're not allowed, but it's just not socially acceptable to talk about the ugly within self-defense. I'm sure there are schools that just don't care and that do still, hey, this is what it is, this is how it works, this is what we're going to be looking for with our self-defense. This is what happens. But the family-friendly martial arts schools kind of stay. They keep their classes PG or PG-13. They never really go into that rated R, like what self-defense really could turn into be. Um, just because if you've ever been to a martial arts studio, I mean, that, I mean, we're not alone as instructors and school owners. We have a panel of parents that watch us like a dang hawk. And one slip up of anything these parents don't like, they're in our office just yelling at us you know, like we're their own child. We just can't really say anything over, a PG-13 rating with students. And I don't know if we really want to, because self-defense gets ugly. It gets very ugly and mean and disgusting. And even right now on YouTube, I'm going to keep it PG-13. I'm going to I'm going to show you some moves to do, but I'm not going to go any further than anything that any TV show would do, because I just can't do that. So with that being said, let me go drag Bob out here and let's get started on the self-defense. Okay, got Bob out here. Now I'm going to start out with a story with the bad part of self-defense, and then that will move into the first move that we're going to do with this. So years ago, I had a women's self-defense class, and I had at least one a month, or one every couple months, for my parents and moms and stuff like that, and they loved it. I had a dance lady just around the corner from my school. She was a ex cheerleader, like pro sports cheerleader in my area for the local team out there, and I had her boy as a student. Um, but she wanted some self defense uh, knowledge with her three girls, and so had that, and I had about an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of material to teach, and so I did that, teaching them. Everything was good, but there was one thing that she really wanted me to cover. And I had it in there, but she wanted me to really kind of dissect this for her and stuff. And that was the bear hug from behind. Okay. So let me get Bob out here so I can give you guys a visual. So arms down, and arms are pinched, and someone grabs you from behind and bear hugs you. This lady was absolutely scared to death, frozen, about this attack, and rightfully so. This attack does still happen. Very, like, I don't think anyone will not teach a bear hug from behind attack with arms pinched. It's just still going to be a very visual attack move that I don't think will ever get old. So instructors and school owners, everything, will always teach this, because it still gets used by predators and attackers quite often. But this gal, she was, petite, toned, very toned, with like cheerleader type of deal. I mean, she was pretty athletic, but she was very small, and she only was probably about 105 at the most. I mean, when I grabbed her, like, it kind of caught me off guard, because this gal was light. I mean, I was like, oh, because I kind of had to, like, I was going in there kind of like, strong, but then as I felt like, oh, she has no strength at all to, like, get out of, and I could literally just pick her up and just throw her around. She was that petite and small, and that's the bad thing. Is there are different sizes of humans out there. This gal was so scared of that bear hug that she froze, and she just could not get past, like the freeze. Like, it's like, I don't know what to do. And then she was like trying to struggle, and nothing was really happening. And so this raised a question in me, like, okay, there's something that I need to try to teach them, um, so at least their brain can stay on when there's an attack happening, because I think brains shut off when there's a real threat. When something breaks, our brains kind of shut off sometimes. Maybe tragedy happens, our brains shut off with that tragedy. It's just a coping mechanism that our brain gives us, that we are internally born with, that our brains shut off. And this is one of them. Like this part of it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on Bob, probably the number one thing that you can do. Either you get picked up and drug, you can still do this move effectively. Now I'm going to do it on Bob, and I'm going to have you guys, and I'm going to give you a question here. So I'm going to wrap him. Okay, here. Now with right here, I want you guys to look at this. Now, where is a vulnerable spot on me? If I come up, and I mean, I'm never going to probably, let's grab Bob into this size. So I'm grabbing, okay, here, where is a vulnerable spot on me? Okay, it's my fingers. All right, so let me throw Bob off to the side real quick here. Okay, so when someone gets bear hugged, arms are pinched. We still have this movement right here, and maybe a little back elbow. Okay, we can kind of turn a little bit, and I'm going to show a little bit there. You can kind of turn a little bit. You can kind of have this movement, but you have this freed as well. Okay, so when we're pinched, we can come up. We can grab a finger. Okay, so index, pinky, thumb. Grab one of those that you can, because you can kind of slip it underneath, because they're just going to be, either here. When somebody grabs, they're not going to grab and have a death lock on their grip, because they're not expecting you to rip a finger. They're just grabbing. So these stay pretty loose. They're tight, but they stay pretty loose, because they're not going to. Their brains aren't going to think, oh, they're going to grab my finger, so they're not going to grab real tight. Okay, so keep that in mind. Is fingers will stay pretty loose, and they will, and they're always available from a back, a threat from behind, bear hug. Come up, rip a finger, and I mean rip that thing. Grab it as hard as you can and rip. And this is where you have to get over that, release that lion that is within all of our hearts. Okay, grab it, rip it, get them teeth, and then pull that arm away, get out, because they will release after they have a finger. Because fingers, fingers can be pretty strong, but if you have a full grip, if your hand gets a full grip of one index finger, pinky, index, thumb, they're not going to be able to, overmatch a full hand with their one finger. Okay, so grab that. If you need to, assist with the other hand, grab it, twist, and try to break it. Like seriously, grab that finger and break it. Have that like mindset of, I'm grabbing your finger and I'm breaking your finger. They will let go. They will definitely let go. And then you could turn away, give a good push, run, whatever it is. So always try to go for the fingers, with a back, someone from behind, bear hug, rip that finger out. Okay, that does work. Number 2 self-defense move. Okay, so let's say we go, well, this will work with everything. Okay, that finger break will work with everything too. If you get knocked on the ground, and like people are scratching at you and whatever, and they're on top of you, full guard, half mount, whatever it is, hands are there. Fingers are always going to be in the mix, because this is how people get people, is hands, right? And they're not gonna, you grab a finger, rip that, grab 2 and then pull the web apart. That hurts. You could do some real damage that way. A thumb, just twist that thumb. If hands are sweaty and can't get a real good grip, and the fingers just aren't an effective thing yet, then this is the second one, is I would go to biting. Biting is a very, very good self-defense move of getting away. Um, Biting is still uh, it still gets used by dogs, predators like these teeth. I mean, they still do a lot of damage, and that's part of our self defense that we can do as well. So let's get in a couple scenarios here. Okay, so um, even if get from behind, you grip a finger, bite that finger. It'll be a little disgusting probably, but bite that finger. Hopefully you won't die from that. Bite that finger, whatever. Get knocked to the ground. If anything is up around your mouth, you know, fingers up around your mouth, grab a hold of one of them fingers if you need to. Like holy crud, what are you doing? And I mean, and the key is bite hard. Bite hard. That's the key to this, is not just a little nibble, but I mean, bite and don't let go. I mean, this is the ugly part about self-defense, is it gets ugly. It can get a little bloody. Bite that finger, don't let it go. All right. Okay. Jiu-jitsu, arm bars, leg locks, on the ground, like they're rolling all over the place. Jiu-jitsu has rules with that, which of course is no biting. Self-defense, there should never be any rules to your life, your self-defense. It should be anything goes to save your life, to save someone else's life. That is just what us as humans it should be a non-written rule for us to be like, there are no rules in this. Okay. It was my life or his life. I have the right to defend myself because that was a predator there. All right. He or she, I'm going to loop all of us in, because there's men and there's predator women. I mean, it goes both ways. So I'm not going to disclude one or the other. Men and women have both done equally bad things. So you're in there too, ladies. But other than that, that's the ugly part of self-defense, is it can get a little gruesome and a little bloody. Us as students need to know, and be okay with it being a little ugly. With it being ugly, because it's our life or someone else's life that we're protecting. It will get a little ugly, and we need to accept that ugliness that could occur. All right. So with that, if you have any questions, concerns, if you want me to, if you think I missed anything, go ahead, comment down below. If you have any thing to add, if you want me to do another video, I am going to do a couple more. So don't worry about that. I'm going to keep this series going with the self-defense and everything. With that being said, go ahead, like, subscribe, comment down below. Until next time, train hard, train smart. See you in the next one.